So guys, let's talk about Call of Duty, and let's talk about the Call of Duty movie that was supposed to come out, and now it's on a hiatus. It's hard to say at this point, but I'm really excited about a Call of Duty movie, and I always thought that a Call of Duty movie would actually be a really good movie or it had the potential to be a really good video game adaptation into a movie, and we were supposed to get one, and maybe we are still supposed to get one, but let's talk about where we're at this point and what happened to the Call of Duty movie. So let's talk about it. So in an article that was written by Polygon, Call of Duty movie director wants to make a soldier film, not a war film. After Sicario 2, Stefano Sollima expects to jump on this long-awaited adaptation. When Activision Blizzard Studios launched way back in 2015, bringing the juggernaut Call of Duty franchise to the big screen was a top priority. Initial plans had the first Call of Duty movie set to drop in 2018 or 2019. While it doesn't seem likely for this year, the studio may just hit that 2019 date, which obviously we're already in 2020, so that did not happen. The first Call of Duty movie being a key takeaway, vocal producers have already mapped out extensive plans for a Call of Duty cinematic universe, ostensibly giving all the different permutations of the series a chance to have their turn on the big screen. While it remains to be seen whether one Call of Duty film will be a success, let alone scores of them, Activision Blizzard seems to be setting itself up well with the director they've reportedly locked down for the first installment. Italian director Stefano Sollima is fresh off his first English-language film, Sicario, Day of the Soldado, which, like the first Sicario film, focuses on modern urban warfare with plenty of guns, combat, and armored vehicles. It would be hard to imagine a better practice run for a Call of Duty film. Sollima has been specializing in gritty action for some time now. His debut feature, All Cops Are Bastards, also focused on well-armed military types fighting in the streets. It's easy to look at his body of work and see a natural fit, especially if the first movie in the series focuses on the Modern Warfare or Black Ops iterations. Polygon had a chance to speak with Sollima during a Sicario Day of the Soldado press junket in Los Angeles, and while he was unable to share specific details or plot points, after all, he has yet to be formally announced as the director of the Call of Duty film, and Activision Blizzard likely doesn't want anything out there story-wise at this point. He did share thoughts on the kind of Call of Duty he'd like to see and his take on the franchise in general. So here's what he said. When discussing his current film, Sollima lamented the disappearance of modern soldier movies, which would understandably make the Call of Duty franchise very appealing to him. We're talking about so few movies like Sicario that are being produced every year, Sollima said. And it's a pity because it's like we're trying to reassure and to make a simple movie for the audience, but sometimes it's good also to shake the audience and show them something more visual. That's more tough. And yes, he's very, very familiar with the Call of Duty franchise beyond being in talks to helm the first film based on the games. I played and then I play with my two kids, said Sollima, even though I die faster than them, so it's more than I watch them playing, especially the most recent installment. Sollima says he has either played or watched almost everything they did in the last 7 years in the franchise. While he's unable to talk any specifics about the Call of Duty film franchise, he was willing to answer when asked about what sort of movie he'd like to make as an entry into a Call of Duty film franchise. Let's put it this way, Sollima began. Another kind of movie that's missed is a movie that talks about soldiers. So not a war movie, but a soldier movie. I think that this is what I will do. I think it's a missing part. There have recently been some movies about soldiers, but only some of them are masterpieces. I think I miss modern soldier movies as an audience. As for what sets the Call of Duty franchise and a future Call of Duty movie apart from a seminal film like Black Hawk Down, Sollima said, it's going to be completely different. I think the trickiest part in doing a movie from a video game is that you're doing a movie from a video game. But if you figure out how to respect the soul of the entire franchise and keeping just this and putting in a movie, it's a completely different experience. As for what defines the soul of the Call of Duty franchise, Sollima believes that the games tell a story story about a soldier in an entertaining, fun-to-play way. So, with that said, guys, here's where I'm at with it. I think that he would actually probably be a decent director. I think that Stefano, even though Sicario 2 wasn't as good as the first one, I thought it was okay, right? It was an okay film. Call of Duty, I would like them to go in a direction that would be completely different from the games. Like just, maybe have little cameos of some of the characters like Ghost or Price, but don't base it around them. Go a different direction. Go somewhere where we haven't been before in Call of Duty. That's what I would like. But here's the thing. What happened to the movie? Because it's kind of interesting, guys. Here in 2018 is when they were talking about this. But if we go over to Stefano Solima's IMDb page, we kind of scroll down here, you're going to see obviously a little write-up on him on IMDb. And at the bottom, it's going to say Director 17 credits, and it's going to give you Sicario Day del Soldado, which was filmed in 2018. Well, since then, we have 000 in 2019, and then he's filming 2 new movies, one called Without Remorse and the other called Colt. Now, here's the thing. Could they be a secret Call of Duty base game, like under a different name or something? Possibly, but at the same time, I kind of doubt it. I would personally say most likely what would happen on IMDb is if it was a Call of Duty movie, it'd probably say Untitled Call of Duty film. That's probably what it would say. But the fact of the matter is that it doesn't say any of that. It doesn't say Untitled Call of Duty film. Matter of fact, if we click on both of these films, you're going to see Without Remorse says John Clark, a Navy SEAL, goes on a path to avenge his wife's murder only to find himself inside a larger conspiracy. It's based on the Tom Clancy novel. So that's the first one. Then the next one called Colt is the story of 3 teenagers suddenly thrown into the adult world. They will become adults in a sort of Wild West where the law and crime are on the same level. So that definitely is in Call of Duty. Without Remorse, if it wasn't based on a Tom Clancy novel, I would say, well, this could be like a twist on Call of Duty somehow or another. But it's a Tom Clancy novel. So, I don't think Without Remorse or Colt are anything to do with Call of Duty. And generally speaking, what IMDb does, once, someone would be confirmed as the director, it would say on here that an untitled Call of Duty film set for, say, 2021 or something along those lines. So, in my opinion, Call of Duty, once again, as far as a movie is concerned, is on another hiatus. Probably Activision Blizzard had some sort of creative difference with Stefano as far as what they wanted out of the Call of Duty movie. And so now we're back to this kind of limbo place within the Call of Duty movie, timeline here. And that's an unfortunate thing because I want to see a Call of Duty movie. I think that where it says that Activision Blizzard are thinking about, they want to do multiple sequels. They want to have a Call of Duty cinematic universe. I think it's a great idea, but at the same time, it's like just make one good movie first. Then we can talk about a cinematic universe after you make one good movie. Because I think that they're trying to, maybe take on too much here that, that would concern me, especially if it ends up not being a very good movie. But if they end up doing a show or something like that, that would be interesting as well. I want to see this, though. I want to see a Call of Duty movie. And I will certainly give you guys updates on the YouTube channel as new information comes up about the Call of Duty movie because I'm really interested about it. I'm sure a lot of you are as well. It looks like right now, guys, what happened to the Call of Duty movie looks like there was a director who was set to do it, but obviously he's not, at least at this point, confirmed as the director. And it looks like it's kind of in a limbo place once again. But as I said, I will give you guys more information as that information comes out.